We are ready.
What messages do you have for us today?
Indeed, we are excited and delighted to share with you some of the upgrades, if you will, that are coming into the body complexes. More of the spirit body complexes are being aligned and attuned, if you will. The vibrational awareness coming in is both triggering events of discomfort and sorrow and things such as that. It is also bringing into the awareness of the more advanced souls. When we say advanced, it's not better than, it is just those that have done the work to get to a different frequency vibrational system. They are experiencing a lot more heaviness. They're experiencing a delight in the excitement of what is to come, and they are not, in fact, diddling into the old programs of fear and nonsense such as that. Now, we want to express that it is important to be of understanding of all situations and sections of the evolutionary system that is going on right now, so you could be more compassionate towards those that are indeed stuck in the lower vibrations, that have not quite released or understood the emotional contract. Emotional contracts being how to handle the emotional. Many understand the IQ, which is your intelligence, and that is great, but many are not even, in fact, aware there is an EQ, your emotional intelligence, if you will. This is going to be brought to the forefront of the attention, and the planetary system is indeed working through many emotions and many traumas, many triggers to clear out more of the energy vibration within the body spirit complex. Does this make sense?
Yes. What should we be doing with that?
Indeed, thank you. With that information, it would be imperative, and we do say imperative, that you go inside your own vessel and still keep on cleaning, if you will, sweeping, dusting, and removing energy blocks that are of a lower emotional vibration. This does not mean, in fact, that you are not allowed to have the lower vibration of these systems, meaning guilt and anger and rage and things such as that at the lower levels. This indeed is part of the human experience. Our intent of letting you know, it is to bring them up to a higher understanding, higher level of awareness. In fact, would be to raise the vibrational tunage of each and every one of these lower vibrational emotions, bringing them to a new understanding of the opposite of peace and understanding and compassion. And the more you do this, it is in fact trigger into the others that are around you. You will be in front of many more others, and they will be attracted to that light. And indeed, as you share and give, it will allow them to change their tunage, if you will, much like when you have a tuning fork tuning other instruments. You are a tuning fork. The more you go into that awareness and cleansing of yourself, it will indeed start tuning others in ways that you are unaware of. This will help with the collective to go into a new narrative, if you will, and we do not like that word, but we do need to use it as it is a construct that has been used in this planetary system quite rapidly for a reason. A new narrative would be the going into the love light system, into the rainbow bridge, the rainbow currency. Now, the mother's womb is in fact a dark void of what you would call a blackness, and that is a beautiful space to be in. However, you are moving into the love light area of birth. We hope this makes more sense.
Yes. Is there something we should be doing at this time?
Indeed, sharing the messages and working on self, meaning go back into meditation. When these downloads, if you will, start happening, it is important to honor them when they come in. They are coming in at a particular time frame. If you notice the time on the clock and start noticing when this time is happening, and you start going into and honoring when these happen, you will be in a much better state as it moves forward, as the past does in fact show future, and future does in fact prove past. You will start in awareness of different things when you go into the time frame of when we are sending these through for your body for a specific reason, for a specific alignment within the planetary system. Things are aligning, and we send in the downloads when we need to for a reason. You say, oh, but I am at work, or I am in conversation with somebody, and we say, yes, indeed, you are. And in fact, this is a great time for you to integrate as well. Maybe excuse yourself for a moment, or just listen to your body for a moment and have that awareness of it coming in. Just that part alone will be a good integration, a mindful meditation, if you will, of feeling where it's going in your body, noticing what is happening around you when it's happening. This will be a great tool.
Why does it happen at night?
There are specific alignments happening more so in the dusk, dawn areas of your planetary system. The way that the planets and the stars line, the way that the moon and the sun energies hit differently at different times. Your particular entity, energy, body, mind, spirit complex does in fact need to be attuned more in the nighttime area, as this is when things have settled down, if you will, the dust has settled and you are ready to be integrated. Also, the planetary alignments have so in fact been working better for us to download the information to you at those times. This particular vessel here has a different time frame that we work with. It is different for each and every body vessel. You, in fact, when you plopped into this planetary systemal void, if you will, and you hit certain buttons along the way on your way into the womb, these are the alignments, attunements that you had with the planets. So your spirit, if you will, did in fact connect with these particular energies at a particular time, at a particular moment of your particular birth. This is indeed a blueprint. This is indeed software to the computer. This is the programming of the computer that you are in this particular planetary complex. So with that being said, you were born at a certain particular date and time with that programming of the planetary systems. This vessel was, and in fact, vessel was born into a different planetary system of their own programming, if you will. This helps us know when to send in the downloads particular to each and every one of those planetary systems. For example, if we wanted to send you a little bit more information or download into your blueprint DNA to help you align better with the Venus structure of what you need in love and family attunement, we will send it at a time that Venus is strongest for you. We do this for each and every vessel that is willing and ready to accept additional upgrades to their program.
Okay. Tamara was asking about meditating in shamanic journeys.
Yes, indeed. She had the shamanic journeys in the beginning to help her understand and be aware that this in fact is a truth more than the falsehood that she has been programmed into. Now, she does not have that as much, but she has this, and she forgets that this is just as magical, does she not? She is definitely looking for more of the extreme, if you will, proof, and we have sent her time and time again, her higher self. We have been sending her as she knows that she is this disbeliever, if you will, in many ways. She believes, but she is not allowed to believe due to the training that she has had. This is part of her journey. Now, she will in fact start having these magical moments the more she starts meditating. As a matter of fact, we cannot send those magical moments if she does not go into the meditative state. Aha, we caught her, did we not?
Okay.
So indeed, she will listen to this later and go, yes, maybe if I meditate, I might in fact have these moments. If I just meditate for 5 minutes and give up, then in fact, I will not.
What dimension are you currently in?
We are multidimensional beings. So for that question to be answered correctly, we must express we are in many multi-dimensions. However, we are sending the frequency from the seventh dimension as it is closer to this vibrational system. Now, we are also sending it from the ninth dimension and above that. We, in fact, reside in a much higher dimension, but we do send the frequencies that we need to the other dimensions, and in fact, then send it through those dimensions into the portals within the brain structure.
We have portals in our brain.
Indeed, you have called them chakras, you have called them glands, the pineal gland, pituitary gland, things like that. There are many portals within the brain structure, within the body complex. These are your ways of attuning yourself to the frequency vibrations of the higher dimensions. Clearing up your chakras is not just a woohoo moment. It really is a way to reprogram the body system to be more attuned to the higher vibrations, whether that be through music, sound, things such as that, through light, through meditation and breath. There are many ways to attune this.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to know about the universal structure of dimensions?
Indeed, you travel through them quite often. Dream time is one of those ways. The more you learn to astral project, astral travel with intention will be a phenomenal thing. If you were to understand that each octave of music is a different dimension, the higher the octave, the more peaceful the sound is, the more in tune the body goes into a peace, love, and light. Now, it gives you a clue as to which dimensions you in fact should or would like to travel to. Now, if you want to travel to the lower dimensions, we say, yes, indeed, you may. It is not advisable unless you have the training to do so. And some do and some don't. Now, we would rather you move yourself up to the octaves of higher dimensions, as this is where the love light energy is, and this is where the change truly happens. Now, you can start with the environment and move your way up to a spiritual sensation, or you can start in the spiritual sensation, which will then trickle down the energy into the environment. We say your top down is typically better in this particular sentence.
Okay.
So getting yourself familiar by you yourself already have connection to your higher self. So going with your higher self and asking now, indeed, what is the seventh dimension? And going into a meditative state, just contemplating the seventh dimension, you will have a phenomenal moment of understanding this. Then you can start sharing with others what these dimensions are. You could also research, as other people have done so, but it is, in fact, a more magical time for you to go visit them yourself. And then teach others how to do so. This was part of your training.
Part of my training when?
1500s.
What was I doing in the 1500s?
We would say to research some of the brighter minds in the 1500s that really, in fact, were working through much of the planetary systems, the stars and planets, and astrology and astronomy, things such as that. As you research that, you will indeed light up who you are, which will be a much bigger discovery for you than if we were to just tell you.
How do you get knowledge out of a planetary system when you place it there?
Much like how you found your sword, you go into intention. You will also, as you discover who you indeed, in fact, were or were hanging around at that time, and you start studying and understanding what they were studying and understanding, the memory complexes will indeed start opening up again in your body complex. They are indeed engraved into your DNA structure, into your spinal cortex, and it will start awakening. Now, as it starts awakening, you will start seeing and understanding numbers and dimensionals and secret geometries, in fact, that you encoded into that structure. And after your death, you did, in fact, visit that planetary structure because you had the map towards it, because you mathematically mapped it out, and you were able to then, with intention and your passing, go towards that. Once you got there, you in fact infused it into the DNA structure of your particular birth in this time, day, and age. So as you hit that in your planetary alignment, your astrology, if you will, the codexes that were left there are definitely in your body. You are in fact made of stardust. This is a truth, and part of that stardust is one of those awakenings that will happen. So you're going into intention of finding that will awaken it within yourself, and then through your expressions of dream time, you will travel there. The more you learn to astral travel with purpose, you will in fact go there and pick it up, much like your sword.
I picked up my sword.
You have indeed already picked up your sword. It is in your memory complex. It is just not in your physical hands.
How do I access that memory complex?
For you in particular, it is not necessary at this moment. However, it will be as you pick up clues and other information about who you truly are. The sword is in fact waiting for you if you would study again Excalibur. It is not just a solid rock with a sword in it. It is a metaphor of extreme importance for you in particular. If you think of, we will give you a small clue, the Excalibur being the spinal cord, the spine that is in fact in a solid rock, if you will, of this structure, bone structure. And once you understand the legend of Excalibur in a metaphorical system, using the body as its metaphor structure, you will indeed find your sword and the abilities that are latent within your own particular processes.
Okay. Is there any questions that I missed that I should be asking?
At this time, no. We are just going to get started in. If you are willing, we start doing this quite often. There is sharing and love that is needing to happen that will be a blessing to many others, that will in fact share wealth and knowledge in a different way. This is our intention of bringing the entire community, the entire awareness of the planetary system into a more giving, sharing, love light energy financially, if you will, no longer slaves to anything, but in fact connected to higher self to move into the beautiful utopia that you in fact see. We would love for us to be able to share, for your higher self to be able to share more and send out this message in a more global state.
So how do we get started on that?
Indeed, by putting information out into your videos, which are still currently, it is a process that is still available at the moment. Once the old systems are destroyed, there will be a new system that will come into play, and you will share information in that structured way. Once that is out, a more telepathic process that nobody has control over will be in fact in place. The control will be within the own person rather than anything else being to control the
so they can decide to pick up the message.
Exactly, indeed.
I'm just trying to remember how we used to send out messages.
And what have you come up with so far?
Talking.
Partly, yes. And have you ever talked within your own brain, within the structure of how we are doing it?
I'm not sure.
Indeed, you have channeled. So much like you are channeling your higher self, when you channel to another human being, it is the same structure that we in fact are using. This is indeed part of the way that it will be discovered. The channeling itself is a different brain structure. You are in a different state, if you will, and your conscious mind is more in the background where the subconscious mind has come to the forefront. There's also different parts of the brain that are going into different brain waves. As you discover those brain waves for yourself, you can in fact, with your own brainwave energy, send the brain wave signal frequency to a brain of another that is willing to accept your transmission. A practice would be great. Imagine being able to channel this channeler And she could channel you as well if, in fact, the agreements are made and the approvals, it has to be agreed upon. There is no taking over that will not be accepted. The consequences of that are dire.
I feel called to ask about this again, but I feel like there's a teacher coming to me.
Yes, indeed, there is. The way to open this teacher would be to first and foremost go study 1500s with the minds of the astrologers, astronomers, things such as that, and get that discovery, and then in fact start studying Excalibur. The teacher is waiting for you to become a certain vibrational frequency for it to find you. It is searching for you at this particular moment, and once it sees in the viewpoint your light being in a certain way, it will be attracted and come forward. You will know within all knowing that this is correct, the teacher that you are waiting for.
Okay. Is it a physical person?
Indeed, yes.
Okay.
And also unphysical as well. The unphysical part may in fact come to you before the physical, depending on the location of that physical being at the time that you light up.
Okay. Is that the person that I keep showing my location to?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for answering those questions.
Yes.
Is there anything we can do for you guys?
Indeed. Keep meditating, keep going back into love light, and please share the messages in whatever way works for you. We will send them in whatever way works for you, and we will share them out with the vibrational frequency of the love light energy, the oneness that is happening in a rapid sensation is in fact coming together because of entities and energies, much as you, bringing in that energy awareness and sharing this information out with the love light energy. Indeed. Thank you.